Welcome to the Vibrant Living Network. Have you ever wondered what is possible beyond possible? What is the thing you've been wondering and inquiring about? Are you just feeling stuck and don't know why? Are you thinking or are you seeing? Seeing allows us to expand and have this other experience. We want to invite you for that wake-up call. We want to invite your spirit, your soul, so to be more alive, more connected. Glenn Brooks has been a life coach for over 33 years, author of Divorced to Patterns, Not Each Other, an explorer of what is possible. He has worked with people all around the world. Join us for a wake-up conversation, a dialogue with you. We will have some of the most interesting contributors. We will be talking to some of the most interesting people and have some of the most resourceful teachers, wisdom-filled people from around the world join us. Share your voice, ask the questions, become free of the known into a new world of possibility. We are going to talk about all the things you wonder about: how to live, how to heal, how to connect, how to love, how to be seen. Your life is precious. Enjoy it.
Welcome. Welcome to you. I'm Glenn Brooks, listening to the Vibrant Living Network, where we assist us in waking up and being able to live the things that that are relevant, that move you. It moves you. Those things that really move you when you're taking a shower or you're driving and you kind of go into that other state of your brain, or it feels like, you have a sense you could really engage that. Had a talk yesterday with a psychologist. He's going to be doing a program on the Vibrant Living Network. We were talking about what it takes to engage the brain and coming out of the vague, the vague where you say yeah, but it's not really a yes. So I'm asking you to pay attention to that. When you say yeah, and then when it's a yes, how is it different than when it's a yes? How is it different when you talk about your hips in terms of this hip or that hip? I met Dr. Debbie Lundquist. She wrote an article about getting surgery, and she said she noticed there was a difference when she said this hip or that hip. What happens when you say this hip and that hip? I want to welcome. We're gonna dive into that question, because questions is how we kind of get free of thought viruses. So when thought viruses leave, we become clearer, and then we can get into this kind of relational brain and this relational wisdom, if you will. And I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about how this vibrant living challenge. We're going to continue on this theme of language and engagement. Ariel Baradarian, he's our number one producer in New York. He's bringing a team of 30 people in from New York. People that will not just have a format, but they'll share their vibrant vision with you, whether they want to write a book, be in a movie. Because one of the things that really helps, I think, in this journey is that we share the obstacles, the challenges, in the light of day with each other. And sometimes when it's not in the light of day, because sometimes the obstacles seem so big. And a lot of us, we could slip into what I call terminal normality unless we have that vibrant seeing, right? And we give that to each other. So, Ariel, what happens when you say, pay attention to your hips right now, and say this hip or that hip, and tell me what's different. So first start off with, first of all, welcome. Welcome. Tell me what you notice when you say this hip, and then go to that hip.
So when I think of my, I'm kind of trying to dig into my right and my left hips. And I think what I could say is, in general, with the right and left, the right usually represents more of more abundance of energy, of outpouring of energy, or of just more giving over. And the left usually represents more of the severity of reservedness, energies being not necessarily channeled, but more directed. And I think I could say I kind of feel that more in general in my body, including my hips. I feel more on my right side, more energy, more vibrancy, more substance, I guess you could say. I don't know if that's the right word. And I would say more on the left side is more restricted, I guess you could say. Which kind of explains why I'm, in my health, the things, my better side of my body are more on my right, and the opposite's more of the left side. And so some people have an opposite as well. It's very interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, you answered, you went to another whole level of discovery on that one. I guess I was and that was interesting too. Do you notice a difference when you say this hip or that hip? So in Deborah's case, she's an oncologist and she was getting surgery, and what she told me was that there was a big difference for saying this hip versus that hip. It brought it closer in. And I'm just wondering what your experience is. If you say this hip, does that change it for you in any which way? Your experience of feeling a connection to your hip.
I think it does to a certain extent. To be honest, it's not something I'm always consciously thinking about. Yeah. But now that you mention it, it's definitely, I definitely, like I said before, I definitely feel differences, and I definitely feel differences in both hips. And I, think about the right and the left and different parts and how they function, how they work, and how they affect the entire body. Because at the end of the day, there's no accident why, myself and with other people, our hips respond and they act characteristically in a wide variety of manifesting ways.
Yeah, no, you're a deep thinker. You dove into that. It's interesting. I'll share this with you guys. So in the Vibrant Living Challenge, which is our 3-month, we're using this as a basis of a membership, because anything we talk about in this format, I'm interested in you guys engaging and living this. Whether you want to produce a movie or a book, or sometimes what's needed is just an environment that has this quality of vibrancy, where it's kind of like you could notice things in the listening. You could notice things in the listening. I'll give you guys an example. I was someplace the other day, and this woman, she was limping. I hadn't seen a limp before. I hadn't seen a limp before, and she's limping, and I asked her what happened, and she told me that she had fluid behind her knee, but I could see what she really was saying. What she really was saying, that is that, she was really terrified. She was, in her listening, she was thinking about this disease that she might have, rheumatoid arthritis, and I spent a little time with her just saying, I want you to research and pay attention to people who restored themselves, to full health. And that was like sort of a new listening. And so what I mean by in the listening is to notice when you get around certain environments how it impacts you. It's a part of the Vibrant Living Challenge. I want you to notice what happens when you're in certain environments, the language, what that conjures up in your mind. And one of the people that really impacted me around that was this guy Norman Cousins. Because what I did when I put together the Vibrant Living Challenge, it was very organic. I just would meet exemplifiers, people that I met. As an example, there was a woman who wrote a book called Who Says So? Who Says So? And in Who Says So, she basically walked away from this life of having MS, physically, emotionally, spiritually, in her soul. She really became a very strong physical person, and she didn't really relate to that whole world. And she felt because of that she was able to live another whole kind of life. So she walked away from it, and she began to have this other level of freedom. So language, right, what we pay attention to language, and then we get together in a group. So let's say you get together in a group like with the Vibrant Living Challenges, and you realize that all symptoms, just to play with this for a moment, that all symptoms are healing in progress. So that if your perspective is that the things you're going through have this other end, this bigger impulse to health and abundance. If you're an author, let's say, a lot of times it seems like, things may not work out. So the idea is the momentum of the group and the group vision impacts you deeply. I just want to say that in a little bit we're going to have Rita Gendelman, and she's beginning a new show on our network called The Unlimited Learner. And she's also going to be a vibrant speaker, and I want you guys to hear her journey, because I get to work really close on the inside with Rita on becoming a vibrant speaker. And really it's much more than speaking on the platform. It's a way of listening, and it's a way of appreciating that in our lives you know, we have certain discoveries that totally turn around our energy and our ability to pay attention. So here's the thing. So most of us, when we pay attention, we pay attention from a place of emergency. Right? That's called closed focus or closed awareness. So part of what we do in the Vibrant Living Challenge, and the Vibrant Living Challenge is a 3-month program, it's a 3-month challenge. The challenge being that when we come together out of a place of, to some extent, the miraculous, going to asking the question, what's possible beyond possible? And people share their vibrant vision, and they get a partner, and the whole group is their partner, you could say. Because something happens when we come together with a different focus. And it's really a strong thing. And I've done this in many, many groups now, where in the beginning it just seems like, you know, it's hard to get momentum. But once you get momentum, and once you could see, you know, you could see that a lot of times the obstacles, we don't see them. But being in an environment where the obstacles dissolve and you see you have a new experience of inspiration and a path of action. So I want to encourage you guys to go to the Vibrant Living Network website, Vibrant Living Network, and or to be in touch directly. We're starting a new Vibrant Living Challenge. And Ariel, what we do is at the end of the 3 months, we give away vacations to people, places that I love. I think that are beautiful places, vibrant inns and spas. So we give away 2 vacations to the exemplifiers, the people that really exemplify the spirit of the challenge. So what happens in the challenge is there's different categories or quadrants. We got the relational quadrant. As a matter of fact, Ariel, I had a question for you. See, Ariel's my vibrant mastermind partner here. So sometimes another person who's invested in your well-being and bigger vision, bigger success, they'll see something beyond. So the 2 questions, they're kind of connected. I was thinking that what I would do with the Vibrant Living Challenge this time around, our next 3-month challenge, is allow people to also use the challenge, some people, as a place of some sort of matchmaking. So that, as an example, they could meet their beloved in the challenge. And I was wondering, I was thinking about incorporating that. I wanted to ask you your take on that, if you like that idea.
Absolutely. I think it's something a lot of people would appreciate and would love to look into. And, you know, people want to go beyond dating. And, you know, people are, like we mentioned before, looking for more of a relational, a more vibrant connection. And I think that would definitely be a big part of what we can offer to all of our listeners and followers, etc.
Beautiful. All right, great. Okay. Yes, let's go straight. Okay, that was really good. The other question I have, because we're opening up Vibrant Living, Vibrant Matchmaking nationally. All right, this is the last. When this first kind of came in, and I knew that I wanted to do a very unusual kind of matchmaking beyond dating to relating. The first name that I had was Soul to Soul Matchmaking. Soul to Soul Matchmaking. My curiosity to you is, today, do you prefer the name Soul to Soul or Vibrant Matchmaking? So the idea of the Vibrant Matchmaking was that people come together beyond the counterfeit dating thing, and they really discover and bring out the vibrancy in each other, the real vibrancy that's there. It's an ongoing lifestyle together. It's a vibrant, or I call it yesterday in a talk, the in-love lifestyle, where your brain and your whole thing together is to discover this level so that your intimacy goes to another level, because it's kind of a devotional thing in some sense. Now, just curious, which name resonates with you more, Vibrant Matchmaking or Soul to Soul Matchmaking?
You know, it's funny. I always liked the name Vibrant Matchmaking, but now that you mentioned Soul to Soul Matchmaking, you know, it's funny because everyone talks about, oh, I'm looking for my soulmate or the right one. You know, that's derived from the root of my soul, which is all very true, and it's accurate. There's no question about it. But I kind of like Soul to Soul Matchmaking. I don't know. I think we should. I kind of wonder what the audience is thinking also. I wonder what they think.
All right. I want you guys to call in. I got to give you guys the call-in number. Ariel, let's give them the call-in number. I'm thinking, do I have the call-in number right in front of me? Chris, if you can intervene, I might have it here. Hold it. I might say like a magic trick. Okay. What name do you guys like? You guys could be the inside geniuses here and get full credit. What speaks to you clearly and succinctly when you feel like I want to share my life and go beyond dating and learn to go, get beyond dating, get beyond knowing. One of our principles is recognition. Another principle is on vibrant intimacy. So which name do you guys prefer? This is going to launch October 1st nationally. Vibrant matchmaking, or soul-to-soul matchmaking. 202-570-7057. 202-570-7057. And if you guys are interested in learning how to be a kind of a full-time inspirational, vibrant speaker, we got Rita Gendelman coming on. She's going to have start her own show, and we're going to explore with Rita today what it would take to really be the amazing speaker that she already is, by the way. She already is. So I'll give that number again, which is 202-570-7057. All right, Ariel, I want you to share something that's been, what's been moving you recently? It's really a funny thing. Somehow, the battery that I have, it's hard to tell if it's charging. So if somehow I lose connection, Ariel, you're going to need to take over the whole ship. You're going to be you're going to be in command. So I want to let you know that. If something happens. All right, okay, great. So what I want you to do today, if this happens, I won't know for a little bit. My device is not letting me. I won't. So here's the thing: if this happens, Rita's going to come on at 1:30, and there's two things. So Rita's coming in the Dr. Teshna segment, the Dr. Teshna segment. So Dr. Teshna segment for 30 years has been helping people release the beliefs that are in their bodies. A lot of times we get these beliefs, and we don't even know they're in our bodies. We don't even realize we're operating from beliefs. It's kind of like, I guess we'll need to continue. By the way, if you develop trust in your life, you'll be able to live a more renewed, aware life. You see, I'm trusting Ariel with this. It's such a gift having trust in our lives. It changes your heart, by the way. Your physical heart changes with trust. Stay with us for Vibrant Living. And now, soon to be potentially soul-to-soul matchmaking in a moment. I'm Glenn Brooks. Your life precious. For myself and Ariel Bonberg, stay with us.
The Real Conscious Connection. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Hello, I'm Sandy Sedgbeer, host of OMTimes Magazine's flagship radio show, What is Going On? My passion is sifting through information, research, and innovations from new thought teachers, speakers, and researchers pushing back the boundaries of what we know about life, energy, metaphysics, and the universe. I love shifting perceptions about who we are, why we're here, and how quickly impossible becomes normal when we open our minds, expand our awareness, and accept that the only limits that exist are those we place upon ourselves. So if you're the kind of forward-thinking, eager investigator of what lies beyond the current reality that most perceive, why not make a date to come play with me in the field of possibilities at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time every Thursday, and together we can discover what's really going on.
Hi, this is recording artist and composer Yuval Ran, inviting you to a voyage through the chakras, a new double album of guided meditations to transform your life, a sublime musical medicine for nourishing inner peace and reaching to your higher virtues. Get it now at metamindfulnessmusic.com, METTA mindfulnessmusic.com.
In the wake of a disaster, what one thing can you send that will help people the most? A blanket, a tent, a sandbag, a doctor. Actually, if you send a monetary donation, you send all these things. Even a small donation can make a big impact and can quickly become exactly what people affected by disaster need most.
In the wake of a hurricane, your monetary donation can make a huge difference to those in need. To donate, visit supporthurricanerelief.org. That's supporthurricanerelief.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
You're listening to Vibrant Living Network. We're beyond a podcast. We're beyond a radio show, really a way of life. And if you would like to speak to people and communicate your message to a much larger group of people and build community and become a vibrant speaker and come to our events, we got events coming up in Vermont, Rhode Island, and now New York, the Menla Center. So we got Nathan with us. We got Nate with us. Nate Hughes, by any chance? Nate? Not yet, but he did say, he said 120. Nate's our new Vibrant Living team member. He's just fabulous. And he works at the most beautiful retreat center up in the Catskills. And we are holding, by the way, Ariel, we're going to be able to announce dates within a week about our Catskills event. So very, very soon we are coming to New York, and Ariel's in charge. I want you guys to be in touch with Ariel if you're in the New York, New Jersey area, or you just feel like, God, I want to be part of the Vibrant Living Network. I want to discover how to own the stage, how to communicate in a way that makes your message alive, how to write a book, like all the things that you could do that are kind of one-of-a-kind thing on the Vibrant Living Network. And plus, I'm inspired. If you want to meet us, we want to meet you. So be in touch with Ariel today. Ariel, how can they reach you about being part of the Vibrant Living Network, particularly in the New York, New Jersey, that general area where we're going to build a massive team of people? And I say massive, 30 people that are singing in the heart, thinking, oh, my God, the universe led me to this point, and now I really want to have a one-of-a-kind platform. And we're all going to be a team together. We're going to give the baton to each other, and we're going to have live events where we come together and really become vibrant speakers, listeners, and go beyond to a level we haven't, because we're together in a new vibrant vision together. How can people be in touch with you, Ariel?
Sure, and it's definitely going to be incredible. We can't wait to see everybody. So the best way to reach out to me is via email. My email is refuahomeopathy@gmail.com. It's spelled as REFUAHOMEOPATHY@gmail.com. Again, it's REFUAHOMEOPATHY@gmail.com.
Okay.
And feel free.
Thank you. I want to thank Chris. Chris, who's put together with his beautiful wife the OMTimes Radio Network, is our partner. So we're honored to be working with Chris and the OMTimes Radio Network to have a new freestanding network called the Vibrant Living Network, which is all about momentum, connection, and expression. So, again, if you want to own the stage, if you want to breathe a new breath, it's such a unique, powerful thing to be able to take something, particularly if you're an entrepreneur, you've never been an entrepreneur, and to go past the world of isolation, fear, and overwhelm, and bring into your body and through your body a message that you haven't discovered yet, or that you want to express at another whole level. And so we actually practice together, the beauty and the wonder of practice together, how to craft messages. And I just helped someone write a book, because a lot of times what happens is people come with goals, and they discover when they go beyond their goals, the thing that really moves them. So one of the questions of the Vibrant Living Challenge and being a vibrant host is, what's possible beyond possible? What's possible beyond possible? And I realized in my life, a lot of times I didn't know what that was until I met an exemplifier. I met someone, and I could kind of feel their breath, and I could feel their movement. And, these things are contagious. So part of my study is how do I let these things impact me? So in New York, as an example, welcome, Nate.
Hello. Good day to everybody. Good to be on.
Hey, Nate.
Yeah.
Hello.
So I got a thumbs up. You just arrived in your Harley Davidson a minute ago. You did a backflip and got into the studio. So I got
right.
that, vibration.
I had to take the back roads. That's why I'm a little late.
There's a lot of traffic up.
So, dang, I got, my brain had a hiccup just then. So, I know what I was going to say. This is what I wanted to share with you guys. So people ask me all the time, like, how do you meet these people and what happens? And because I live in this vibrant collaboration where I feel like life is really about meeting people and just going to another level together because you're together. And this whole thing, the matchmaking we were discussing a minute ago, Nate. I'm gonna put your genius on the spot here. We were discussing about impact. So when I first, and it's always funny to say when I first, because it really wasn't. Life what happened was is when I had this relational tsunami, and when I felt I had died, I just missed my partner so much. I missed Donna so much. And I had about a year and a half where I didn't feel like I could fully see color. You know, it was a really interesting year and a half. And people would say to me, you know, you're like, you're a life coach. What happened? And I'd be like, well, I'm discovering something totally new. This is a resource. I've actually never had this quality of heartbreak before. And so, sort of what happened was this book came in called Divorce the Patterns, Not Each Other. Divorce the Patterns, Not Each Other. And then along with that, I started to write something called Soul to Soul Matchmaking. So now what happens in life, this is true, a lot of times I ask someone, one of the highest honors is to ask someone, you know, I do. I say to people, hey, I want to ask you something. I want to ask you because I just totally would appreciate your like authentic answer. And so I would ask people like what name resonated the deepest. And so the first name was Soul to Soul Matchmaking. And since we're opening up, you know, vibrant matchmaking nationally, I said to Ariel, I said, what name speaks to deepest to you? Like when you hear vibrant matchmaking, which is all about cultivating your deepest vibrant match, or soul to soul. And Ariel went with soul to soul a little bit more. And I was just wondering with you, Nate, because you're certainly within the, you know, my intention is to pull everybody out of their meditation chambers and meditation cells and get them with their partners so they can have eyes open meditation together. That's my secret agenda here. Relational meditation. What or to end the world of dating. Which name resonates with you? I'm just curious. And why?
So, I think soul to soul or spirit to spirit or something about, you know, the energy beyond us that pulls us together, something like that.
Yeah.
Because, or maybe soul to soul beyond the stories we tell ourselves, something like that. Because we tend to be inside our heads a lot, and when we are in that dating, quote unquote, dating world, we're searching as opposed to allowing things to come to us, as opposed to putting that intention out that something will come to us and what is right will come to us. When we're dating, we tend to be searching, and that searching is aligned with this story we have in our head about who our perfect partner is.
Let's come back to it. I love what you just said. It resonates deeply. What I want to do is introduce Rita right now. Because I think she's there right now. Are you there right now, Rita?
I'm right here, Glenn. Yes, I am.
You know, since the moment I met you, I could Ariel's shouting out to you, Rita.
Oh, Ariel, hi.
Yeah, Ariel. Nice to hear from you again.
Good to hear you too.
Yeah. And we got Nate Hughes with us, Rita, he puts programs together at Menla. Which, by the way, you're going to go to Menla. We're going to meet with Nate, and we're going to have your program at Menla. That's my vision. I started to tell Nate about you. Oh yeah, you're going to Menla.
Unfold. Yes, I've heard a lot about you, Rita, already, so I feel like it's already unfolding. It's great to have you on with us.
Fantastic, I love it.
All right, I'm going to see with my team here with Nate and Ariel. So the first time I spoke to Rita, I said, Rita, can I ask anything about your experience? And she was like, anything. She kind of emanated. She emanated. And I remember feeling like, wow, it was such an intimate moment. It was like, I just felt an instant sense of, you know, Rita and where she was coming from. And then when she told me she wanted to be an inspirational speaker. Now, the last time Rita was on, she was on this segment, which is the Dr. Teshna segment. Yeah. And, so the Dr. Teshna segment, so I met Dr. Teshna, I don't know, probably 7 years ago when I was going through my most intense relational tsunami, and I would drive 6 hours to see her. I drove 6 hours to see her, and I said to her when I could barely walk, I'd be like, you know, Teshna, I feel like there's something here because most therapists, I'm only laughing because I said this to a therapist recently and she totally flipped out. And I used to think to myself, therapists had some consciousness. She didn't. She totally got angry at me when I said this. I said to her, you know, most conscious don't get relational training, you know, and she just flipped out. It was humorous at the time. And when I thought she had contacted me later to apologize, instead of apologize, she texted me, says, never call me again, lose my number. Wasn't an apology.
Wow.
And by the way, it was so funny. So she got so angry at me. We were walking in this beautiful quad in this backwoods, and she got so angry. She got so far ahead of me. I said, I'm not able to hear you. And she's like, I don't care. And then this hasn't happened to me since high school, by the way. When we got to the car, she had like a 2007 BMW. She lit the wheel so much it left me in a cloud of smoke. And I remember when the smoke settled, I thought, wow, that was something else. She didn't like what I said. So here's the thing. Clearly. So when you told me your experience of being, having this like sexual or this trauma when you were 7, and you were saying to me,
yes, correct.
You were saying to me you really hadn't really felt love and this connection to a man, and you said it so clearly and powerful. And soon after you told me you wanted to be a speaker, and you already impacted me as a speaker. So I just want to let you know that. So I just want to say I think do honor to Teshna here and you. Share your story, because a lot of people listen to this and they'll hear, Teshna, and they'll hear about releasing your beliefs from your body. And that's a big idea. That's a big leap for people. But here you are, you're 7 years old, and you have this, I don't know, what would you call it, impositional, obnoxious sort of thing happen that alters your trust.
Yeah, correct.
How would you say it?
I would say I was molested, basically.
Okay, you said it better than me.
Those are the words. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm laughing just because, unfortunately it's a big part of life, that happens. So here we go. That's an event that really shapes a woman's life, or anyone else's life, not only a woman, because males go through that, unfortunately, as well.
Yeah.
And so basically, but, I just want to backtrack just a little bit. I was in a marriage for 12 years, loved my husband very, very much. There was no intimacy. And I started looking a little deeper, and I couldn't understand, I was thinking about this when I was 35. I'm presently 40, and I'm thinking, okay, something's wrong. I'm 35. I don't understand. There's all this love, but there is no intimacy and passion. And it just felt really wrong. And I really, really did not want to be in a relationship that doesn't have that, doesn't offer that. And I went to many different alternative methods of therapy. But Teshna seemed to be really the one that I stuck with. And I traveled to her 2 hours, which is, I'm in Manhattan. She's in Berkshires. And I did about a year of intensive work with her. And clearly what I found out, there were a lot of patterns that were really holding me in this relationship. That I didn't trust men. And by the way, just to say, this relationship was an open marriage relationship. How convenient when somebody's boundaries are so massively, overstepped, like with me. And on top of that, living with parents who were very much unhappy and hated each other and cheated on each other 24/7 all the time. It adds up, and all those layers add up. So then you have this, I've absorbed it from a very young age that open marriage is kind of cool because you don't have to commit. You can just kind of be and float. And that felt okay for a while, but eventually I knew I had the wherewithal to understand something is really missing here, because I'm having sex with everyone else, but not my husband. Something is weird. You know what I mean? That is a little bit bizarre, And it didn't, honestly, listen, I'm telling you as a woman from the inside out.
Yes.
As a woman, and most women will tell you this when they're honest, having sex without having the heart involved is very unpleasant and very unsatisfying, extremely. And I wanted to be satisfied, and it was not working for me. And we worked with Teshna. The neuro-emotional technique, the work, the acronym is NET that she does is very powerful because it goes to the very root. It goes to the unconscious mind and really goes to those events that happen in our life, that shape our life, that bring us to the present moment of why we are where we are. And, where we realized through this muscle testing, I realized that I had a belief that in order for me to be safe, I have to be.
Rita, do me a favor. First of all, you're absolutely brilliant. I just want you to slow down. I want you to slow down. So, like a lot of people, I want you to. So, what you're saying, you're talking about kind of a major leap or a major leap or breakthrough. Because for a lot of people, what happens is they live the first half of their life, and a lot of people don't get to transform their life by the second half of their life, and you have. So, just like as an example, So what Teshna does is she tests the body in terms of congruency. Like as an example, if you say I love men, and she's able to muscle test, and you don't love men, it shows up in your body. You go weak. So that's. I just want to make sure the audience stays with you, because you're saying such powerful stuff, and a lot of people, they might be listening to it and saying, God, I had a trauma happen when I was 13, and if I was going to be honest, I never overcame that. So a lot of people, this is really powerful what you're saying. So always introduce an idea, because it might be new to some people. Thank you.
Absolutely. No, you're totally right. Yes. So she would test my body, and she would state a certain statement. For example, it's a good statement. Actually, the statement that I ended up working with a lot is, I'm okay being a woman. I'm okay being a sexual woman. And it's safe for me to be sexual with men. That was something that I went to a lot, and that was a statement that I had to say out loud. And my muscles kept on going weak every single time we would say that out loud, because there was some kind of a threatening response that, overcame my body, and I just really became weak. Because of, primarily the event that occurred at 7 years old. However, it expanded to my father relationship and my mother relationship, the relationship between father and mother, and the violence between them. So there was a lot of layers. It's really peeling an onion. But really getting to a place where you could say, I'm okay being a woman. I'm okay being sexual. I'm okay being us. I'm safe with men. And getting to a place when you say it, you feel it on every single level of your body, mind, body, soul, and it's unwavering, and you're confident, and you feel congruent with the words that you're putting into the universe and with the feeling inside of your body. That's when you know that whatever trauma was there has cleared, specifically in relation to this belief system. And that's what we were doing. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we continue. I'm going to invite Nate. And Ariel, he said when you told her first story, Ariel was saying, this is Meshuggah. How could she have done that? He translates into the Jewish language as well. If you like freshness and joy, stay with us. We're going to take a brief pause and continue with Rita, our new host of The Unlimited Learner, in a moment.
Feed your soul with waves of consciousness on OMTimes Radio.
Ascending Hearts is no ordinary dating site, but a spiritual dating site with a purpose, to link you with your soulmate. We engineer the serendipity so you can trust that you will attune with someone that has the same matching vibration as you. Ascending Hearts, the conscious dating site for the spiritually aware. Try Ascending Hearts for free. AscendingHearts.com.
More than 24 million Americans have an autoimmune disorder, and that number continues to grow. I'm Sharon Saylor, and I'm one of those 24 million. To put that number in perspective, cancer affects about 9 million and heart disease up to 22 million. That's why I've brought together top experts and those thriving regardless of their diagnosis to bring you the latest, most up-to-date information. Join me, Sharon Saylor, Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, for the Autoimmune Hour on Life Interrupted Radio to find out how to live your life uninterrupted.
Hi, this is New Age Grammy winner Paul Avgerinos. Thanks for listening to OMTimes Radio, and please support my peaceful healing music with a purchase at iTunes, Amazon, or wherever you shop for fine music. Just put my name into the search engine, Paul Avgerinos. A, V like Victor, G like George, E-R-I-N-O-S. You can also visit me at roundskymusic.com. Thanks for listening, and I'm wishing you the brightest of blessings.
Hey, Dr. Phil here. You know, I help people solve difficult problems every day, but one problem has me stumped: childhood hunger. Nearly 16 million children in America struggle with it. Luckily, the Feeding America network of local food banks collects surplus food, giving hope to hungry children and their families. But they need your help. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hello, I'm Glenn Brooks. You're listening to the Vibrant Living Network, along with Nate Hughes from Menla. And we got Ariel Baradarian, our New York producer for the Vibrant Living Network. We're talking to Rita, who's got a new show coming on the Vibrant Living Network, The Unlimited Learner, which is about living your brain plasticity, going beyond the language of limitation and blockage when it comes to not just learning, but healing, well-being. And I want to say, I just want to comment, I want the guys to comment that what you just said was so powerful, because I was just on the break, I was listening for a lot of people, they don't know the beliefs they have in their body. And you articulated that you have these beliefs, these obstructions, or these obstacles that were in your life, and that that you were devoted to free yourself and have recognition rather than force through them to be something that you didn't experience. So it sounds like you had this tremendous willingness. I just want to say that so as an adult, that's such a beautiful journey as an adult to be able to come into this freshness and newness. It's very moving, and I want the guys they wanted to ask you to say something, because I just want to say to the audience that, I want to give out Dr. Teshna's website as well, and I know that you spelled her name better than me because I haven't cleared my belief and I'm not a good speller. Just wanted to say that. So you could help me. So it's Dr. Teshna. Would you spell it? So it's Dr. Teshna. And how do you spell Teshna?
Okay. So Teshna, T like Tom, E,
yep.
elephant, S, Sam, H, hat, and Nancy, A, apple. Teshna.
All right, drteshna.com.
Yes.
drteshna.com. And, I still have that old belief. I think I got it in 6th grade, and I know who did it. So that person will be on the show, and I'll have Nate deal with them. Do you guys want to say anything about what Rita said? Because I just thought she said so much, and it's such a leap from, this. It's a leap from what a lot of how people interpret trauma, or what their beliefs are, even about trauma itself, like it's incurable, or we need to. Right. So go ahead. What's on your trauma?
There is just so many layers there, and I think without even exaggerating, you dove through so many of them, and very, very few people are lucky to even get past the clouds, let alone get to the surface and go below it. I know that throughout my relational journey and my romantic relationships, I've had to go through some of those traumas that have been brought up in my life, and it's amazing how aware we can be, right? We know like how our childhood was, and we know how traumatizing some of those aspects of it might have been, and we know the degree of how our parents in their relationship was or wasn't a relationship, so on and so forth. Yet we don't tend to go into our bodies and feel where we're holding those and where those are holding us back and what emotions we're holding. So just on a very surface level, it's just so powerful if we start doing those type of things. And over the last couple of years, I've made leaps and bounds of seeing a lot of my weaknesses in relationships, seeing how traumatic my parents' relationship was and how that affects my view on relationships, and how I tend to hold some of that fear of resentment and fear of betrayal in my body and try to let go of that.
And by the way, Rita, you said something about women and their heart. And I just want to say that one of my big studies has been on vibrant intimacy. That actually, I came up with a seminar. I was going to teach this course and then called "Penetrate Her Heart." And
that's powerful.
I want to say you are such a symphony of wondrous, life-giving feedback. And you're very, there's a boldness in you. There's a boldness in you, and I can see that. You'll fill my seminar, "Penetrate Her Heart," because you'll tell all the women and men in New York. So thank you in advance for that. So you know what's so okay. So you went to Teshna. You dedicated a year because you must have felt on some level of your soul, your being, that there was another whole life. Because as an example, I've met a lot of women, let's say, who I guess a lot of people. What do? They settle, or what did they do? They just kind of feel like, well, that's just the way it is. So, like as an example, you felt you could have this intimate life, and if something was missing, and somehow you did something about it. What's your take on your relationship? Like, what did you notice about you that allows you to take an action that was a pretty bold action? How did you come to this place where you're going to take an action and go for this?
You know, it's a fantastic question, and I always ask myself the same question because I have this unwavering, unapologetic, pit bull-like drive within me to be free. I love and I worship freedom. And I mean freedom that allows me to live with two opposites within inside of myself. And I don't know if you're born with it. I don't know if you learn it. I don't know if it's both. I don't know, because if I look at the life that I've led and the parents that I was born to from Ukraine and in the communist era and all the aspects of that, I've never had an example that there is something as self-development. I mean, it's never been taught to me. But I have to be honest with you. I have such a thirst and hunger to be open-hearted and live a free life that this is the only way I know how to get there, and I will do anything to feel free, anything. I love freedom, and it's something that I feel very innate for me, but that feels very limiting because I am sure we all want freedom, because when you truly feel freedom, oh my God, it's so magical. Why would you not want to strive for freedom? Why would you not want to? But I somehow sense that, you know, I knew it exists, and when I experience a part of what it feels like, I can't. I just want more, and I want more, and I want more, and I feel like self-journey, self-introspection, feeling your feelings, feeling your body is a way to get to that truth and wisdom that sets you free.
Yeah, no,
and I can't really, you know, I wish I could say somebody taught me or somebody inspired me. It's in me. It lives in me in every cell of my body. I love it.
Yeah.
I think that's the important part, right? The fact that nobody taught it to you means that it's something that's accessible to everybody, and in the sense that we can only truly unlock it ourselves. That's what's so
great.
powerful
Thank you so
about
much
it.
for saying that. That's it. Beautiful. That's where I wanted to go with it. That's correct. Absolutely. It's available to everybody.
Now, Ariel is
Yeah, sorry, Glenn.
That's right. It was something you had talked to me about. You were going to investigate real estate in the Ukraine and maybe moving out of your place in Great Neck. But we'll talk about it off the air. Go ahead, please.
Please don't give away my.
Rita, thank God Rita got that. Thank you, Rita.
Yes. Nate, continue. Sorry, we keep interrupting you.
No, it's all right. Go ahead, Ariel.
Oh, sorry. So I'll just say really quickly. So I actually really resonate with your experience because my work in my homeopathic practice, I actually work with a lot of women who, you know, they deal with troubles in relationships, you know, whether personal, romantic, etc., because of past traumas or negative experiences or marriages, etc. And I think what it is that obviously, of course, it's something that's very, for people on the outside, it's very hard to really understand or really get because of the pain and the suffering involved. But, you know, for example, my experience, and I work with women like that or males like that as well, it's important. It's also very important to see how those experiences really can help shape you in the direction you went through. Like, for example, as troubling those experiences that you went through and that you had to deal with, and eventually you were able to grow and learn and become the person you are today in order to access the freedom and the satisfaction that you want and you desire in the life path that you want to go on. And I think, of course, there are things like therapy, you know, proper therapy, homeopathy, holistic healing that can really help guide and rechannel people in that right direction, you know, if they need it. But I think we also have to realize that it's the experiences that make us the people who we are and that help us to really access and achieve our potential and our destiny and our fate in the way that's really that really works and that's really right for us and for our innermost selves. And I can definitely say also, you know, thank God I never, I've had also traumatic experiences in my past, especially in terms of dating. But I can definitely say that if it weren't for the negative experiences I had to go through and suffer through and grow from and learn from, you know, I wouldn't be who I am today, and I wouldn't be able to on the path I am today. And, I can really look back and I'm thankful for all I went through, which really helped me become who I am. And I think that's really the key. I think the key is to take those negative experiences and turn them into positive outcomes, and to really look back and see, okay, this happened to me. This is terrible. This is definitely, we wouldn't want if this happened to anyone. Of course, on the outside, it's not ideal. But I think those negative past results, outcomes, experiences, they really also are opportunities to grow and become better and more happier, more satisfied people, and living the lives that we want to live.
I was going to say, Ariel and Nate, is that I'm actually writing up a seminar. It's called The Courage. It's all about the courage to be vulnerable, and I love that about you, Rita. I think when I first met you, your ability to marry courage and vulnerability, it's really awesome in a way, because it reveals you as a human being instantly. And I realize that you're so there, and so it transfers to your work, working with people around unlimited learning, because I feel like you speak a language that's accessible by all human beings. You could speak linear, but there's an aspect of you that speaks way beyond the linear, and you speak to children in their language, and that's why I'm so honored to be working with you as a speaker. And also, I feel like the format we're going to do is going to be profound, insightful, and very resourceful. So I'm honored to be working with you. I also want to say that so this we're going to have Teshna on next week, by the way. She just sent me and Teshna, we're going to actually, and you were very instrumental in the sense that, we're going to do this series on divorcing the patterns on each other. You know what I love about you? You articulate your clarity almost, it's just what is on your lung is on your tongue so quick. So I love that about you. Because I think in the realm of heartbreak and things, it's, now, I want to say, when you said you're in open marriage, of course, my take on it is open marriages can never work. Plus, to me, like, being in open marriage is kind of like getting, I don't know, like organic, getting good food at McDonald's. It doesn't really exist, does it? I just couldn't get it. I couldn't get open and marriage together. It just didn't resonate. So I thought your clarity was, and what you had to say about that was really, so I want to encourage people. Dr. Teshna has a workshop coming up in November. She teaches you guys how to actually release these beliefs, these obstructions that are in your body, so that you're not fighting them and bumping up against them. What would you say? Just, I guess, spend a moment just to say to people, why would you encourage people to go to Dr. Teshna's workshop from your experience?
Well, I feel if you want to be happy and you want to be free, you really want to make sure that what you're thinking resonates and is aligned with what is going on in your body. So let's say, just an example, the other day I said to myself, today I'm doing yoga. Great. And then I stopped for a second and I tuned into my body. I'm like, oh, Jesus, there is no energy for yoga. My body is completely spent. But my mind keeps saying, no, you got to go do yoga. And the truth is that I'm going to always listen to my body. Because my body's exhausted. I'm going to slap myself to yoga. I'm going to be there for an hour and a half. I'm going to exhaust myself. So what I'm saying is that it's really powerful to be able to do this work and live in your truth. Let your body speak. The brain is a place where we often get stuck. Yes, logic and linear thinking is useful and wonderful when you're paying your bills, when you're crossing the street, planning your vacation, etc. But if you want to live a joyful life, it's important to remember that those two need to be connected, and Teshna has the tool to be able to do that very quickly and very effectively.
All right. She'll be with us. She'll be with us next week. And go check out her website at drteshna.com, Dr. Teshna. And because you're the spelling bee expert, if you could go ahead and spell Teshna. I don't have her card in front of me like I usually do, but I want to make sure you guys can go to this website. And you could also call Dr. Teshna and tell her your personal situation. The workshops are enjoyable, pleasant, and you could actually practice this level of being able to remove the belief or the obstructions from your body with the guidance of someone who's done it for 30 years. All right, this is your opportunity, Rita, to spell.
Teshna, 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 Dr. Teshna.
All right, and there should be some kind of reward for you. I don't know, maybe gluten-free bagels. Something will become of this. That was a very good spelling, by the way.
As long as the bagel is gluten-free.
Well, I had a problem. The problem I had with being gluten-free was that I became suicidal eating gluten-free food. So it's gotten better. It's gotten better. Much better.
With non-dairy cream cheese and lox, by the way.
I'll tell you something. I think Rudolf Steiner said once that when you have love in your life, you could eat rocks. I feel like the level of closeness, and what Rita you were saying was, when people actually have this quality of love, it really, and they could receive love. It's so it's a really interesting distinction. So the world, how people have created the world between sex and love, they don't realize that when you actually connect those worlds together, it's a whole different world. So I love your recognition. Say something about being the unlimited learner. I want you to say something about your work and who you are. Go ahead. Because who you are is so beautiful to me, and your message is so powerful. So I'm going to put you on the spot. Take a minute.
Thank you, Glenn. Well, I'm trained as an occupational therapist, but I have other modalities that I combine with my work with sensory motor learning and helping kids really organize and feel and sense.
All right, you know what? I asked you that question right as
too late.
Your theme music was coming on. Yeah, well, we'll get it again. We've only just begun to bring your beautiful work and message forward. Thank you, Nate. Thank you, Ariel. Your life's precious and joy. We'll be with you again. And thank you. Love you a lot, Rita. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye, guys.